Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive with us. This time we're going way back to 1952
Oh, yeah.
to take a look at a song I'm sure you've heard before,
Yeah.
but maybe haven't thought too much about.
Right.
The one and only Hound Dog.
Definitely a classic.
Now I know what you're thinking,
Elvis.
but
Yeah.
Elvis actually didn't record this song until 1956.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to go back
Way back.
a few years before that and learn about the origins of this song.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hound Dog started its life as a blues anthem.
And it's a completely different vibe than what you might be picturing.
Oh, for sure.
So let's set the stage.
Yeah.
1952, rhythm and blues is really starting to make waves.
Yeah, it was such a vibrant time for music.
And in the middle of all of that, this powerhouse vocalist,
Oh, yeah.
Willie Mae Big Mama Thornton,
I mean, what a voice.
she drops this track called Hound Dog.
And it just explodes.
It really was a hit.
Huge.
But what's really fascinating is the message behind the song. It's this woman
Yeah.
basically telling this no good man to get lost.
Yep. Just scram.
I mean,
So,
in a world where women were expected to be seen and not heard,
right.
this was
Old.
huge.
Yeah, it was a powerful statement.
And the way she sang it,
Oh, man, chill.
that raw emotion,
It just grabbed you.
you could feel the frustration,
Totally.
the anger,
Definitely.
and this, like I said,
Ah,
strength,
in the word.
this refusal to be walked all over.
Right.
So now we've got this blues anthem
Right.
making waves,
Big waves.
challenging societal norms.
Absolutely.
And then
Enter
a
Elvis.
few years later,
Yeah.
he hears Hound Dog for the first time in Las Vegas.
I think it was Freddie Bell and the Bell Boys performing it.
That's right.
And Elvis,
Yeah.
he was hooked.
I mean,
Yeah.
the guy loved music.
Oh, totally.
So Elvis starts playing Hound Dog at his own shows.
And you can just imagine those early performances.
Oh.
The energy must have been off the charts.
And we're talking 1950s America.
Right.
This is like,
A whole different world.
it was Elvis comes out
Uh-huh.
and he's like nothing anyone's ever seen.
Totally.
Those moves, the
Yeah.
way he commanded the stage,
Uh-huh.
that raw energy.
It was electrifying.
And people are losing their mind.
Oh, yeah. Some loved it.
Some were scandalous.
Oh, definitely some were clutching their pearls.
But you can't deny the impact.
Oh, no. It was huge.
So fast forward a bit,
Okay.
and we get to the performance that really set everything in motion.
You're talking about the Milton Berle show?
The one and only
June 5th.
Elvis takes the stage and just lets loose.
And it's like
A bomb went off.
the teenagers in the audience are going crazy. Fainting.
The whole 9 yards.
And all the while,
Yeah.
the older generation is looking on in shock.
It was just too much for them.
Too wild.
Too provocative.
So exactly.
And you know what? All that
And the
controversy.
It only made him more popular. Oh, yeah. It fueled the fire.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Elvis almost didn't record Hound Dog at all.
Really?
Yeah, he thought it was just a stage act.
Interesting.
He didn't see it as a studio song.
Huh. I never knew that.
But thank goodness, his producer
Steve Scholes.
knew a hit when he heard it.
Oh, yeah. Scholes was a visionary.
So they get into the studio,
Okay.
July 2nd, 1956.
The day after the Steve Allen show?
Right, and Elvis,
Yeah.
he's not messing around.
He wanted to capture that live energy.
And he wasn't going to settle for anything less.
Right.
They did 31 takes.
31.
Can you imagine?
That's unheard of for a pop song back then.
But Elvis,
Yeah.
he was a perfectionist.
He knew what he wanted.
So they finally get the take.
And the
This
rest.
is history.
Absolutely.
But what's really interesting is how different Elvis's version is from Big Mama Thornton's original.
Oh, yeah. They're almost like two different songs.
Elvis sped up the tempo,
Gave it that rock and roll drive.
and the instrumentation is
Yeah.
completely different.
Big Mama Thornton's version was pure blues.
You have the saxophone,
Yeah.
the kind of laid-back groove.
Right.
But Elvis's version,
Scotty Moore on guitar.
those iconic riffs,
Gil Black on bass.
that driving rhythm,
And those hand claps.
which weren't in the original at all.
No, they weren't.
And then, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
you can't forget the Jordanaires.
Those harmonies just make the song.
So Elvis takes this blues lament,
And transforms it into a rock and roll anthem. It's remarkable.
and that's what makes this song so fascinating.
Totally.
This incredible journey from the blues clubs
Yeah.
to the top of the charts.
It's a story about music and culture and how a song can evolve and take on new meanings over time.
Absolutely.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more to uncover about the impact of Elvis's Hound Dog
Right.
and why it continues to resonate with us today.
So let's dive in.
But first,
Yeah.
a quick word from our sponsors.
You know, it's amazing to think about how Hound Dog, in Elvis's hands, really became this symbol of.
Like youthful rebellion.
Yes, exactly. It was like a soundtrack for a generation that was
Just ready to break free.
totally, like they were yearning for something different.
And Elvis was giving them that.
Absolutely. And the fact that it was so scandalous to like the parents and the critics,
Oh, yeah.
that just made it.
Even better.
Exactly. It's that whole forbidden fruit thing.
Right. Like the more you tell someone they can't do
The
something.
more they want to do it.
Exactly. And I think Hound Dog with that.
Driving rhythm,
Yeah. And like suggestive lyrics.
it just became the symbol of defiance.
And you know what's funny?
What?
It's those very things that made people so uncomfortable back then.
That make it iconic today.
Exactly. It's a reminder of how music can really challenge like societal norms.
And push boundaries.
Absolutely. And speak of pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
Elvis didn't just shake things up on stage.
Oh no.
He also revolutionized the music industry.
How so?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Releasing Hound Dog as a double A-side single.
With Don't Be Cruel,
I mean, that was genius.
it's a brilliant marketing strategy.
2 smash hits on one record.
I mean, who wouldn't buy that?
I know. Imagine hearing those 2 songs back to back for the first time.
Oh man.
It would have been,
Mind-blowing.
it really would have. And
And it worked.
it did.
I mean, it became the best-selling single of Elvis's career.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, topped the charts across multiple genres: pop, country, R&B.
Wow.
Sold over 10 million copies.
That's insane.
Especially for back then.
It's wild to think that a song that started as like a blues lament,
could become this global phenomenon.
yeah, breaking down musical barriers and appealing to
Mhm.
such a diverse audience.
It really is remarkable.
But you know, amidst all this success,
Yeah,
it's important to remember the woman who started it all.
Big Mama Thornton,
Her contribution is often overlooked,
unfortunately.
but her influence on the song.
It can't be denied.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the things that makes this song so fascinating.
What's that?
It's a story about musical evolution, you know,
Mhm.
cultural impact and,
Oh.
you know, sometimes the uneven distribution of recognition.
In a music industry.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that strikes me about both versions is how they both capture something
Essential.
about the human experience.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Big Mama Thornton's version with that raw emotion,
Uh-huh.
those defiant lyrics.
It speaks to the pain of heartbreak.
Yeah, and the strength of resilience.
Right.
And then Elvis's version
Yeah.
with that infectious energy.
That rebellious spirit.
It speaks to the yearning for freedom
Mm.
and the joy of like breaking free from those constraints.
It's amazing how music can connect with us on such a deep level.
I know, right? It transcends
Tulane fan.
cultural differences.
And Hound Dog, in both its forms, it just keeps doing that.
It really does. And it just goes to show you that great songs,
Have a life of their own.
they evolve
Adapt.
and they continue to
to
resonate.
new generations.
And who knows how Hound Dog will be interpreted in the future.
I don't know, maybe it'll become a folk anthem.
Maybe an electronic dance track.
The possibilities are endless.
But one thing's for sure,
What's that?
Hound Dog is going to keep
Barking its way into our heart.
for years to come.
Well said.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We explored the blues roots of Hound Dog, the electrifying transformation it underwent,
In the hands of Elvis.
yeah, and its lasting impact on music and culture.
It's quite a story.
But I want to hear from you.
Yes.
Which version of Hound Dog speaks to you more?
What resonates with you about this song's history and its...
Multiple meanings.
It's definitely a question worth pondering.
Yeah, it's really kind of wild how a song can like have such different meanings for different people and across, you know, different eras.
Yeah.
I mean, for Big Mama Thornton,
Yeah.
Hound Dog was this like raw,
Oh, yeah.
personal expression of frustration. Like
Huh.
she was taking a stand,
Refusing to be mistreated.
and then Elvis comes along,
Yeah.
twists it and turns it.
Turns it into something else.
It becomes this anthem of
Youthful energy.
rebellion,
Yeah.
and both are totally valid.
I know, it's crazy.
They speak to, you know, different aspects of the human experience.
It's like there's no one right way to interpret a song.
No, not at all.
It's about how it connects with you.
Exactly.
And you know, sometimes those connections can really surprise you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you might hear a song 1,000 times and think,
You know it inside and out.
you got it all figured out.
And then one day it's like,
Damn.
it hits you differently.
You hear it in a whole new light.
Maybe you've gone through something similar.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you've just grown as a listener.
You know, it's like those songs you loved as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear them again as an adult.
and they just hit different.
Totally different.
It's part of what keeps music interesting.
It really is.
Like it's a constant dialogue.
Between the artist
Yeah,
and the
it's
listener.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Hound Dog,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to explore the music.
That speaks to you.
Even if it's a song you think you know,
Inside and out.
you never know what hidden depths you might discover.
Exactly. You might even connect with it in a way you never imagined.
Like maybe Big Mama Thornton's raw blues will speak to your soul.
Maybe Elvis's energy will get you up and dancing.
Or maybe like a lot of us.
You'll find yourself drawn to both.
For different reasons.
Because at the end of the day,
Hound Dog
it's a reminder of the power of music.
connects
To us.
inspire us.
And to make us feel a little less alone.
Beautifully said.